Hey everyone! If you're like me, those perimenopause symptoms are driving you crazy. Well, I've got a little help for you. All you need to do is go to my midlifewithcourage.com website, and a little box is going to pop up that's going to ask you if you'd like to get my free ebook called Balancing Your Hormones. It's a short little guide with tips that you can use throughout the day, super easy, to help you balance out those hormones through the things that you do. So check it out, midlifewithcourage.com. Now let's get back to the show.
It was such a personal story for me, the way, what I had created and why, that I was having such a hard time marketing it. I was afraid to put myself out there. I was afraid to tell my story, have a voice, have an opinion, all that.
Mhm.
So, I'm on Instagram showing up every day, but in the background, I'm like hating myself. I feel like a
Oh.
fraud and an imposter, and that I don't know what I'm doing, and it's definitely going to fail. That was a really low point in my life, feeling like here I am trying to put out this product in the world that's very spiritual, but I did
Mhm.
not grow up spiritual. So, like, who am I to to have been given this gift?
You are listening to the Midlife with Courage podcast. This is where women in midlife come every week for inspiration, motivation, and sometimes a little education to help them flourish after 40. Let's get started. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Midlife with Courage. I am Kim Benoit, your host. If you like this If you like this podcast, I'd love it if you would follow and even better, subscribe, and you will make sure that you get every episode every week. Today, I'm very excited to have my guest here today. Her name is Margaret Graham. Welcome to the podcast, Margaret.
Thank you so much, Kim. I'm happy to be here.
I'm really excited to talk to you. Why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us where in the world you are and what you do.
All right. I'm Margaret Graham, and I live in Anderson, South Carolina currently. I've always lived in the Carolinas all my life. I live with my husband of 9 years and our stepdaughter. She's 30, but she lives with us and she also helps me with my business, as does my husband. So we've got a little pot of three all working on my business. And I'm an artist. I created centering pendants, which are a pendant that is concave on both sides with a hole in the middle. So when you reach for it, your fingers slide to the center and touch. And then you're
Ah,
creating a sacred hand gesture called Gyan Mudra that's often used in meditation. So just the act of making that gesture with your hand can be very calming and grounding and connects
ah.
you with something greater. It also connects you with yourself. And it's just very centering. Yeah, that's what I do.
I love it.
I'm a jewelry artist.
Joy artist. So you decided in 2016 to make a pivot. Tell us about
hmm
that. What were you doing before?
Before I was teaching, I was actually an assistant teacher in special education. And I went to college for art. I have an art degree. But right after college, I didn't have any idea how to become an artist and did not believe that I could be an artist. So I got my master's in teaching and went into teaching. It was not a profession that I enjoyed very much, but it paid the bills. It was also structured. Like I knew what I was supposed to do and when I was supposed to do it. So I was in the school system for almost 10 years between being a teacher assistant and being a regular teacher.
Okay.
And I decided to quit that to pursue not only making jewelry, but also teaching yoga because I really enjoyed yoga. I
Okay.
do still enjoy yoga, but
Yeah. I always love to ask this when women make these pivots in their midlife or whenever. Did you wake up one day and just decide, I really don't like what I'm doing? Or was it a gradual process? Or, did lightning fall out of the sky and you went, oh, wait.
yeah, it wasn't I woke up and decided one day that it should be done, but I really wanted to take a chance on myself. And I had just gotten married. So this was 9 years ago. And there was something about having the security of the marriage. I mean, we had been together for 10 years, but there was something about
Hmm.
that security. I mean, this is going to sound awful, but his permission as well. Him being like, you know what, if you want to take a few years and try and make a go of being an artist, I'll support us. So, like, having that support and permission from this man who loved me and who I loved also gave me permission to give it to myself. I think I
Ah.
had been holding myself back, telling myself that I wasn't even going to try because I wasn't capable. I was telling myself that it wasn't okay to just not make money for a couple of years while I tried to build a business. Like, there was so much that I was saying in my own mind to hold myself back. And
Mhm.
so to have this person that was like, let's just do it, just try it, just quit, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, it's okay. You and I have that a lot in common because I was the same way when I wanted to quit nursing with my husband. I had, before I said anything to him, I came up with my own plan of how I was gonna bring some money in doing my essential oils. But you're right, like I just needed him to say, okay. And I knew he was gonna say, fine, no big deal. And I just
Hmm.
recently had to do it again for another reason. But even though I knew like he's gonna, I still had to like have that affirmation or something. But I totally get
Yeah.
that.
It's the whole thing where like, no matter how much another person loves me, tells me they love me, tells me all the good things about me, if I don't believe those things myself, it's not going to matter. I
Yes.
I really had to find this self-love in myself and this permission for myself. So
Yeah. That's so amazing. So how did you go about that then? You made that decision, and then I know you talked about having kind of a spiritual awakening at some point. How does that all come together?
it all happened in the same year. So in 2016, I quit teaching to teach yoga and to make jewelry. And at the time, I was making completely different jewelry. And within that one summer, having just quit my job and now trying to do both jobs, I realized that I could not do both very well. And I kept saying to friends and family, if I'm going to pick jewelry, it has to have more purpose and meaning because there's a lot of meaning in teaching yoga, at least the way that I teach it.
Sure.
It's not just about the physical postures. And then one day in September, I was in my car thinking about how I could help people, that it's that I often hear people say it's hard to get to class, it's hard to like carve out that time. And I had my hands on the steering wheel. I was at a stoplight, I wasn't driving. And I noticed that around the steering wheel, I could connect my thumb and forefinger. And it was the perfect size. The steering wheel was the perfect size for this to happen. Then I was like, oh, I'm making Gyan Mudra. I'll just take a couple breaths here at this stoplight. And then I started thinking, like, what could I make that would prompt people to stop and take a couple of breaths every now and then? Because those couple of breaths can do a lot of good.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea of this centering pendant just formed in my mind that day. Um,
Wow.
and I knew immediately when it happened, I was like, wow, that's a really good idea. And then the next moment, I was like, oh my gosh, my prayers were just answered. It was like
Ah,
I realized that I had been asking for this thing, and then it just like downloaded into my brain. And it felt, I'm getting goosebumps right now. It was the
I
first
am
time
too.
in my life that I was like, there is something greater out there that was listening and answered me. So that was the beginning of my spiritual awakening.
Very cool.
Yeah. From there, it got worse before it got better. But,
How did it get worse?
you know, there was just so much self-doubt in my mind. It took me months to create the first pendant because there was this part of me that just believed that I would fail, that I could not bring this into fruition, or I could not manifest this idea, that I would just fail in some way. So I might not even well as try.
Uh,
So yeah, when the first pendant was finally made, it was a wonderful day. But then within the first couple years of business, as I was trying to market it,
mhm,
and it was such a personal story for me, the way, what I had created and why, that I was having such a hard time marketing it. I was afraid to put myself out there. I was afraid to tell my story, have a voice, have an opinion, all that.
mhm.
So, I'm on Instagram showing up every day, but in the background, I'm like hating myself. I feel like a
Oh.
fraud and an imposter. and that I don't know what I'm doing and it's definitely going to fail. That was a really a low point in my life, feeling like here I am trying to put out this product in the world that's very spiritual, but I did not grow up spiritual. So like, who am I to to have been given this gift? And oh my gosh, my own pendant though was saving me because every time that I doubted myself, if I reached for my pendant and took some deep breaths, I started to become connected to this part of me that was like, I love you. You can do this. Everything you need is already inside you. And it just kept me going. And I just started to give myself permission to get help, to
Mhm.
notice like this mindfulness practice was now showing me how much a part of
Mhm.
me hated myself. And I began to give myself permission to get help. I was already in therapy, but clearly I needed more. But it was not only therapy, it was longer meditation practices. I started going to therapy weekly. I had never given myself permission to go that
Wow.
frequently.
Hmm.
I just kept on adding in more and more healing practices and getting to a truth that I had not gotten to before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot there.
There's a lot there, but it's amazing. And, I've heard too, and I probably experienced this myself, when you feel like it's all so negative or all these things you said, I have imposter syndrome, I hated myself, and this and this and this, that's when you're starting to grow because you're taking all that in and you're acknowledging it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I feel, and that's what I've kind of experienced too. And once you acknowledge it, then you can move forward and, deal with it. Is that kind of what you've found too, or something similar
Ab
maybe?
Absolutely. There's definitely a type of toxic positivity that just wants to be upbeat and happy all the time and
Yes.
is ignoring the shadow sides and the negative feelings. But then there also is a positivity that can come from having looked at those shadow sides and now, sort of befriended them and accepting them and then choosing the positivity.
Yeah.
And that's taken me years now, 6-ish years
Mhm.
of healing,
Yeah.
but it's all been worth it. I think I don't know if your listeners would be interested in this, but I did give myself finally permission to finally start a 12-step program. I went into
Oh.
a recovery program that has really helped me. I'm still in it,
Hmm.
and it's called ACA. It's for children who come from households where there was alcoholism. So it
Ah,
stands for Adult Children of Alcoholics. And we
okay.
call ourselves adult children because we bring traits into adulthood that served us as a child, just trying to protect ourselves in an
Sure.
alcoholic home, but that
Sure.
are now not helpful.
Right. Oh,
So,
interesting.
yeah, so I was, my shadows were all these ways that I was interacting with myself and other people and all my relationships, ways that I was interacting with the world to keep myself protected and safe,
Mhm.
but were not authentic and not building connection and not helpful even.
Yeah. It's always
Yeah.
amazing to me how we protect ourselves, but at some point, all the stuff's going to come up and you're going to have to deal with it. And it could be physically, mentally, emotionally, whatever it happens to be.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I give you a lot of credit. You've done a lot of work.
I have. Yeah, looking at that stuff is not easy and it's not I, I'm just gonna say right out, it should not be done alone. Like I think people when they know that they want to heal and then they hear, oh, okay, well, I need to address some shadow side things or some things I don't really want to look at. Like,
Yeah.
don't look at that by yourself.
Yeah, you need help. And that's a
Um,
good thing. It's, hopefully people understand that. Hopefully we're getting to a place where, getting help for things like that isn't a stigma or negative or, oh my gosh.
yes.
I think we are. I'll try and think positive on that.
Yeah, I think that's the benefit of podcasts like yours and mine. It's we
Mhm.
get to hear more stories of people who gave themselves permission to get help and look at these things and that it was
Yeah,
okay. And the more stories that are out there like that, the more people it reaches, there's a ripple effect
for
of
sure.
healing.
Yeah. I
with
love that.
podcasts.
So my bubble and your bubble have now joined, and now we have a bigger bubble. So that's amazing.
Yes, it is.
Yes. And I did, like I said, I've been listening to a couple of your podcasts. I listened to your very first one with your husband, and I was listening to some newer ones today, and the difference in your voice, and I can hear your energy is so much different. Like you've gained confidence and you've got your courage we like to talk about here. Do you see it that way too? Do you feel that?
Oh, absolutely. 100%. I so I got a business coach last summer. I've had her coaching me for about a year now, and she's the one who encouraged me to start the podcast. And the coach has pushed me, in a way that I could not push myself before. And the part of me that was so scared to use my voice and show up audibly.
Literally.
Yes, what she taught me was that the practice of doing it is where I will find the confidence. I cannot wait to start the podcast when I have the confident voice. It will
Right.
come with the practice. And she is right. Well, as soon as she said that, I was like, oh gosh, she's right. That it's such an important lesson is to not wait to do something when you're ready, because you will never be ready. You
Exactly.
become ready by doing the thing and
Yes.
doing it very poorly to start with, but then as you go, you get better and better. So yes, I hear a difference in my own voice. People have told me that they hear a difference in me.
Yeah.
I'm showing up in a different way overall.
Yeah.
And that is audibly, noticeably different.
Yeah. That's amazing. And I love that. Yeah. You need the courage to start and do it. And then that, like you said, repetition builds your confidence. And then look how far you're going to go. We don't know yet, but we'll see. I know you'll go far with that. So wherever you want to take it. Yeah. And you show a little bit of vulnerability, which I think is important when we're in these kind of leadership roles too. You say, I noticed, I think both the people that you talk to, well, I don't really know you that well. Even, we're talking to your guest, I don't really know you that well, but, I wanted to have you on so we could talk about it. I love that. It's like you're admitting, gosh, I don't really know you that well, but so let's have a chat about that. Let's get to know each other.
It is my life's mission to just show up as authentically as possible.
Yeah.
I've definitely been a person to mask in the past,
Hmm.
and especially try to come up with what a person wants me to say, what
Mm.
I think the other person wants to hear me say.
Yes.
And I realized that that was actually at the root of my social anxiety in particular.
Ah,
So it's easy one-on-one to be like, okay, I'm getting a sense of who Kim is and what she might want me to say.
yeah.
But when I'm with a group of people, if there's 10 people, I'm having to consider what do each one of these people want from me. Then I clam up and I'm
Yeah.
quiet because I'm gonna disappoint somebody. You can't people please 10 people all at the same time.
No.
Yeah, so I have realized as I've done the work, and what I got clear on was my own values and beliefs and who I am, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I had to get clear of. So now I show up knowing who I am and what I believe, and then people can take it or leave it.
Yeah, like I think that's part of like this midlife thing too. If you like me, great. If you don't, I don't care.
Yeah,
You know, I'm
yeah.
trying not to care. Maybe, yeah, I guess I shouldn't say I don't care, but yeah. But no, I totally get that. Yeah. I love that. And this is my goal this whole year too, is just helping women in midlife especially know that they have to go within themselves first to be able to go out into the world and shine that
Hmm.
light. And
Hmm.
that's what you're doing. And that's kind of what you just said too, I think.
Yes. I think I have learned that a person who is always trying to fix other people is a person who is not willing to fix themselves. And I mean, the word fix sounds awful because there's nothing wrong with us, it's not like we're a problem to fix.
Yeah.
But what I mean is when the focus is outside of myself, then I'm just not moving through the world how I need to or want to.
Hmm.
But when I focus on myself then and show up authentically, then I'm actually helping more than I was when I thought I was trying to help, if that makes any sense at all.
It does to me, yeah. And I'm sure the listeners will get that too. That's so cool. It's midlife with courage, and we're both of a certain age. And how do you think that plays into all of this? Because it seems to me, I mean, I find so many women my age that are going through these journeys and these transformations. How do you feel about that? How do you feel the midlife time frame fits into that, this
Hmm.
awakening?
Well, I guess the first couple of things that pop to mind, one is just where we are as humans in society and and our own history as a culture. It's just the awakening is sort of has to do with psychology, making gains in understanding how human brains work and emotions work to guide us and inform us, and then just being willing to have more conversations about that. And then also, I'm pretty deep into the chakras.
Ah,
So I like to follow a 7 year chakra cycle.
oh,
So
okay.
for each 7 years of living, there is a specific chakra, and then there's seven chakras. So in 49 years, we go through a complete chakra cycle. And then at 50, it starts
Oh,
over.
oh, interesting. I've never heard this
So
before.
yeah. So I'll go through it briefly just in case there is two people out there that are
Well, there's one right
interested.
here, so yeah.
We just need one more.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's seven chakras. The root chakra is at the base of your spine and has to do with safety and security. So imagine like the first 7 years of your life, that's what you're building on. Or do you feel safe in your home and with your parents and your family, and at school? And then from 8 to 14, we're in the sacral chakra, which people think of as like your pleasure center. I also like to think of it as like exploration, like we're finding out what we like and don't like and what is our joy. It's also the seat of our emotions. And
Mm,
so, like, once we feel safe in the world, do we feel free to explore what we don't like and like? That's 8 through 14.
okay.
And then 15 through 21, we are in our solar plexus. So that's where we are developing our sense of self and our willpower and how we choose actions that prove what our like life's work is and what and shows our identity and our power, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
And then the next 7 years, you're in your heart. So you're learning about compassion and love and self-love and for others.
Hmm.
That's through age 21. And then 22 through, yeah, math is hard.
28. No,
28.
20. Yeah.
Thank you. That's correct.
I
Then
can't math.
you're then you're in your throat chakra. So that's when we're learning about self-expression and really using our voice. And then beyond that is the brow chakra. So that's really about connecting with the rest of the world to some degree, but it's also about focus and possibility and clarity about our path. And
Oh,
then
yeah.
in the crown chakra for what are we at now?
Is it?
Through 49, 42 through 49.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
when we're really connecting with divinity and like truth. And then there's just, we start to understand that sacred element of our
Hmm.
life's path.
Sure.
And then we get to start over with
Oh
all
my
of this
gosh.
knowledge. And it's almost like we have a whole nother life because we get to start over in this sense of safety with all of this knowledge that we've gained from the first 49 years.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I almost got goosebumps there. That's so cool. But yeah, because we do. It's like a rebirth or a you can start over, do something different, and but yet you've got all that knowledge behind you and all your experience. I love
Yes.
that. No one's ever, I mean, I knew what the chakras were, but I never heard them explain like that in relation to your age. And oh, very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
Very, very
it's
cool.
it's one school of thought. There are
Yeah.
other chakra cycles out there, but it's the
Yeah.
one that makes most sense to me. And
Yeah.
I've thought about these a lot, but it's chakra, cha chakra.
Chakra. Oh, yeah. I love that. That's cute. Oh, that's so cool. I just love this. We could just keep going here. Let's talk. So you started with the one piece of jewelry, and I want to talk about that too, but it kind of has branched out into other jewelry as well, correct? Hi everyone, Kim here. I just wanted to remind you that I have a brand new product on my online shop at midlifewithcourage.com. They are beautiful affirmation cards just for you. These are a product that I created. I'm very proud of them. They're called your Daily Dose of Courage. Each day you take a card and you can go in order. They are numbered 1 through 31 for each day of the month, or you can just take them out at random. Use them just to give yourself a little positive message. Maybe you want to use them as a journaling prompt. You can even use them in the evenings before you go to bed as a way of just having a little positive, courageous message to read before you go to sleep at night. So go to midlifewithcourage.com and go on the online shop. The link is right there on the first page and grab your copy of your Daily Dose of Courage affirmation cards.
They are all centering pendants, but I have a lot of different designs. Oh, yes. So I started out the jewelry that I was making when I quit the school system. It was
Mhm.
called Grit Goods jewelry, completely unrelated. It was like
Oh,
gunmetal jewelry with genuine stones and little cute clusters and things.
yeah,
And centering pendants is completely different. It
totally
was,
different. I love that.
yeah, new idea. Just start over. So yeah, these pendants, like I said, they're concave on both sides with the hole, so you can hold them
Yeah.
in Gyan Mudra for meditation and mindfulness.
Okay.
They're sterling silver or fine silver. And I put real gold accents on them. This one has 22 karat gold accents that I paint on. And
Oh
they
my
are
goodness.
made with a material called metal clay, which
Metal clay.
is relatively new. It was only developed in the 90s by Mitsubishi in Japan.
Oh, wow.
I don't know what they actually used it for, but they realized that it was also could be used in the crafts and art world. I mean, you can find this in Michael's.
Metal
It's
clay.
it's a very expensive product because it is fine silver particles mixed in a binder. So you can
Okay.
work with it like clay, but then once
Oh
it's dried and fired in a kiln, it comes out pure silver.
oh my goodness.
The binder fires away and you are left with only silver. The metal particles sinter, sinter,
Okay.
and the piece shrinks a little bit,
Okay.
comes out pure metal.
Oh my gosh. So did you say you put that in all of yours, or is it just certain ones that you put that in?
They are all made with metal clay. Some are sterling silver, some are fine silver.
Okay. Wow.
And then the gold accents that I put on are also metal clay. It's a 22 karat gold metal clay.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'll have to look that up. So how long does it take you to make one necklace?
Well, it's hard to say because I
Yeah.
do make in batches, but in a
Sure.
week I can make about 10 pendants.
Okay.
I think at the height of my making, I was making about 60 a month. So that's more like 15 a week, but
Okay. Okay.
starting to get carpal tunnel and yeah, elbow pain and all kinds of stuff. So
Yeah.
now on some of the pendants, I make the original and I get them cast.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm still working in the middle clay for all the originals and some are cast in sterling silver.
Okay.
And then I
Okay.
have special one-of-a-kind pieces that are all made by me that are not cast, where I put enamel on them. It's metal, so you can do whatever a silversmith would normally do. So I can
Oh.
hammer it if I want. I can saw it. I use the fancy flex shaft tools that silversmiths use,
Oh
and I
my
can
gosh.
also put enamel on the surface, which can only be done on fine silver.
Okay. Oh my gosh. So much, so fun. So adding the podcast into this and you're doing the business coach, how are you navigating with both like adding the business part of it into your jewelry making or vice versa?
Yeah, so I think before I mentioned that the marketing was hard for me because it was
Hmm.
so personal and it was hard to show up. And so I kept focusing on what I did do well, which was the making.
Sure.
So I made and I made and I made, and I got a following on Instagram to the point where it was easy for me to just make 60 in a month and for people to be like raring to go and they were eager to get one. But then Instagram changed its algorithm.
Oh, stupid
And then
algorithms.
people couldn't find me anymore. So I could tell that I was failing because every time I got to this point where I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to market. I don't know what I'm doing, blah, blah, blah. I would just make more, right? And I would end up with like 250 designs and still no plan. So getting the business coach, she helped me realize that stop making that like 80% of my job is actually marketing, which
Oh,
I make a face app, but it's actually to a point now where I'm like, okay, I like this.
yeah.
But that means that now that I'm getting some pieces cast, I'm just focusing on building relationships and
Mm,
getting myself out there in the world, getting people to know me, making connections. And that is what will help build the business.
mm-hmm.
I'm also very blessed, privileged, grateful that I have a husband and stepdaughter who are helping with the business portion of this.
Yeah,
So, yes, I am able to do
cool.
all of these things with their help.
With
So,
their help.
the coach is coaching a group of us, and I often feel so bad for the people who only have themselves. Oh my
Well,
goodness. I'm
they're getting
like,
help too.
yeah, I'm like, don't look at me. I have a lot of help. I'm
Uh,
sorry. I know it's harder for you.
uh, don't
Um,
know. I know there's something you should be doing about that, but don't worry about it.
I know,
Is
right?
your husband retired out of curiosity?
He is.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So
Yeah,
he has the time to help you and stuff.
he does.
Yeah.
He was an engineer and retired 3 years ago, actually, almost to the day. It was like a couple days ago.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's funny. See,
But
mine retired. It'll be 3 years, end of September, and it's been interesting.
yeah.
I'm glad that you have help. I think it makes it easier on you too to know you've got these, obviously you've got two other people that are there to help you, and I don't think you should feel bad about that if other people don't have that.
Yeah, I just try to remain aware that I have a lot of privilege there.
Yeah.
And, you know, I do spend a lot of time still on myself. I read, I journal, I yoga, I meditate. There's still a lot that I do to stay in touch with myself.
Hmm.
And having the support of two people who know that I need that time
Hmm.
and allow me to have it and help me not to feel guilty about taking that time. Like there
Yeah.
are so many ways that we learn that we are not supposed to be spending that much time on ourselves, that that's selfish. But by giving myself that time, it has made it so much easier for me to show up for other people.
Yes.
Like it's just effortless now. So I actually do more for other people now by spending more time on myself.
Yeah.
It seems backwards, but it's not. Once
That's the number one theme. If I could have one theme for this podcast, that's it. Fill your own cup first, and you will be able to help others. I mean,
yes.
it's the same message in different words almost every
Yeah.
time. So
Yeah.
that's amazing. I don't think we can hear it enough. So I love
Yeah.
that. I love
There's a
it.
lot of society that calls us navel gazers or you're just stuck in the past or blah blah blah, and it's these are probably the people who think that they can fix everybody else and aren't focused on themselves.
Probably.
Yeah. Quit
Oh,
spending so much time on yourself. I know what you need.
yeah, no, do this instead. No, no. Oh my gosh. This has been amazing, but where do you see moving forward? What would you like to see in a few years with your business or yourself or both?
Currently, we are getting into retail spaces. I have always
Ah,
shied away from this because, I mean, I know that I'm showing up very confidently in this moment, but there
yeah.
is still a part of me that's scared to put myself out there, right? And I have to
Yep.
like converse with her all the time. So we're getting into retail spaces, which means getting a lot of no's and also like selling myself, marketing, all that, like push, push, push.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to get out there in the world to be this physical manifestation that reminds people that you are worth taking your time to look into. And having this pendant, wearing this pendant, having this physical object that reminds me several times a day that I'm worth it and to give myself that time is just, I think people need that, you know? We reach for our necklaces, our jewelry in times of stress and anxiety, worry, all that. And when you find this pendant, it says, oh, take a couple breaths. I want to get these out in the world and be this voice that says, you're worth it. Focus on you. You're worth it. So getting out there into retail stores, just getting my necklaces out there more and more, being known, just being known and being seen. That is what we were working on. And showing up, knowing
Yay.
that I have something to offer.
You do. Your story is your marketing. It is. I love it. Amazing. Where can people find the jewelry now if they're interested in it?
My story and my jewelry is all on my website, centeringpendants.com.
Okay.
And if you go there, there's a pop-up. You can join our little mindful community and get a discount off your first purchase if you're interested. And
Awesome.
also, I'm on Instagram a lot. So
Okay.
Instagram, I'm at Centering Pendants.
Okay. I will put the website and the Instagram links in the show notes so people can grab those in case they're listening while they're driving, like I usually do.
And for the people that love podcasts, I also have my own, The Art of
Yes.
Centering.
Yes. I highly encourage people to listen to it. I'm following you now. It's just amazing women that you bring on there and the space you hold for them and they just yeah, I love it. I love it. So
Thank
yes,
you.
please listen. Listen to the art of centering, ladies out there. Margaret, I don't want to say goodbye, but before we do, would you like to leave us with one last little message?
Yeah, just keep going and don't give up. Healing is not linear. I'm sure you've heard that before, but
Yes.
it really is not. In fact, can I share? I just over this weekend, I heard a story that was a good analogy, metaphor. Is that when you're, caught in a stream, say you're in a stream, floating down river, you often like reach for a log to hang on to. And that log serves you for not dying in the moment. But then there may come a time where a loved one over on the bank is like, hey, swim over here, but the log is preventing you from getting there, and you have to let go of the log in order to get to the shore. And you might let go of it for a minute and then circle back around and come back to the log because it was too scary.
Mm-hmm.
Or you might let go for a second and then no, swim back to the log. So the log is like the dysfunctional, like childhood things that you did to protect yourself. But in order to let go of the log, you have to like let go a little bit and then you might swim back. Right?
Yeah.
So like it's this game. It's not linear.
Yeah.
You might find yourself coming back to the log, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep going, keep trying new things, see what works.
Yeah. Each time you'll get a little bit farther away from the log.
Exactly.
Yes, I love that. Very nice. Well, Margaret, thank you so much for being with me here today. Just love this conversation. So hopefully we
Yeah.
can chat again sometime.
Thank you. It's nice to be here and great to meet you.
You too. All right. Thank you for listening to the Midlife with Courage podcast. If you liked what you heard, I would love it if you would leave a review, or even better, send a link of this episode to a friend. Until next time, take care of your beautiful self.